Today we're taking a look at the Texas Rangers vs Kansas City Royals match, which is happening on Thursday, April 1st, 2021 at 4:10 p.m., and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. The Texas Rangers were one of the disappointing teams in 2020 as they went 22-38, which was last in the entire American League. They were putrid offensively as they were 29th in MLB with batting average, OBP, OPS, and runs scored last season. They will be handing the ball to right-hander Kyle Gibson, who struggled last season with a 5.35 ERA in 67.1 innings pitched. The Kansas City Royals will open the 2021 season with a top prospect on their opening day roster and likely in the starting lineup. But it won't be Bobby Witt Jr. The Royals will host the Texas Rangers Thursday afternoon with outfielder Kyle Isbell making his major league debut. The Royals will send right-hander Brad Keller to the mound, while the Rangers counter with RHP Kyle Gibson. A 2018 third-round draft pick out of UNLV and the number 6 ranked prospect in the Royals farm system according to Baseball America, Isbell earned his way on the roster this spring. He hit .333 with 2 home runs, 3 doubles, 6 walks, 5 RBIs, 10 runs scored and 14 strikeouts in 23 games. The Kansas City Royals went 26-34 in 2020 and had one of the better off-seasons in the league as they added Andrew Benintendi, Carlos Santana, Michael A. Taylor, Mike Minor, Wade Davis, and Irvin Santana. Most of their top prospects are also expected to not be called up this season, so this will most likely be the team for the majority of the season. The righty Brad Keller will get the nod for opening day. Last season, he had a solid season as he went 5-3 with a 2.47 ERA in 54.2 innings. Texas has entered a full-fledged rebuild and could flirt with 100 losses this season, but there are some reasons for optimism in the clubhouse. The Rangers will be counting on a better season at the plate from slugger Joey Gallo, who posted an ugly .181, .301 and .378 line to offset his Gold Glove season in right field. The Texas Rangers come into this season looking to shake off the club's worst winning percentage in 47 years, albeit in a condensed 60-game schedule where the Rangers finished just 22-38 on the year. The Rangers bring a ton back from last year's roster, including Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who hit .280 with a team-high 8 stolen bases last season. Joey Gallo is back as the Rangers' expected source of power, but will have to be better than a .181 batting average as one of 5 Rangers that saw at least 24 games with a batting average under .200. The Rangers made a splash in trying to improve their starting rotation, picking up Dane Dunning and Mike Foltynewicz to bolster the rotation already featuring Jordan Lyles and de facto ace Kyle Gibson, who is expected to start here after going 2-6 with a 5.35 ERA and 58 strikeouts last season. In his career, Gibson is 9-5 with a 3.67 GA and 100 strikeouts against Kansas City. Joining Gallo will be Reclamation Project Chris Davis, who is hoping to mash 40-plus home runs after managing just 2 long balls in 30 games last year. The organization will also be counting on a stable of young hitters without a lot of major league experience. Willie Calhoun, Nate Lowe, Nick Solik, Leodis Taveras, Jose Trevino, and Ronald Guzman have yet to prove that they can consistently produce at the MLB level. Brock Holt and Charlie Culberson are expected to fill in as utility men throughout the season. Texas will turn to veteran right-hander Kyle Gibson for the season opener on Thursday night. Gibson is coming off of one of his worst seasons in recent memory, finishing 2-6 with a 5.35 ERA and 1.53 WHIP. His 0.0 WAR was his lowest mark since his rookie season in 2013, and he gave up a career-worst 1.60 home runs per 9 innings of work. Gibson should be accustomed to facing the Royals after spending most of his career in the American League East. He is 9-5 with a career 3.67 ERA in 24 games against the Royals. The Kansas City Royals struggled last year and were a bottom-half offense but added a lot of professional hitters. The main add is Carlos Santana to make it a more rounded lineup to add some protection. Santana struggled last season with a .199, .349 and .350 slash line with 8 homers and 30 RBI with more walks than strikeouts. He needs to shake off this performance and has to prove that this was just an anomaly and not the signal of the end. The Kansas City Royals will look to take a step back in the right direction after missing the playoffs for a 5th straight season with a 26-34 record in the compacted 60-game schedule. The Royals made some serious moves, prying Carlos Santana from the division rival Cleveland Indians while also acquiring Michael A. Taylor from the Nationals to bolster the outfield. Andrew Benintendi also comes over to help in the outfield, but there are still familiar faces in KC, with Whit Merrifield, Salvador Perez and Hunter Dozier all still in the fold. Perez led all catchers with 12 doubles as well as leading all out catchers with 11 home runs and 32 RBIs. Dozier and Merrifield also provide some solid depth and talent to the Royals' order. The Royals' pitching rotation got better as well, led by staff ace Brad Keller along with Danny Duffy, Chris Bubic, and Brady Singer. The Royals also brought in Mike Minor to shore up the gaps left in the Royals' pitching lineup. Speaking of Keller, he's expected to start opening day after going 5-3 with a 2.47 ERA and 35 strikeouts last season. This will be Keller's second career start against Texas. They will have Brad Keller on the mound and had a solid 2020 season. Looking at his baseball savant numbers, he was in the 89th percentile in barrel percentage and in the 60th percentile in walk percentage. He doesn't record many swings and misses and depends on the movement of his pitches if he wants to be successful. He has a 4-pitch arsenal but rarely threw the change as it only was thrown 17 times. He increased his sliders thrown and was slid as hitters went .187 against it and 0 extra base hits. All in all, pay attention to Keller's movement to see where we should go as the innings go on. So here are my betting suggestions for that game. If Texas can get elite power production from Davis and Gallo, this could be a sneaky lineup, but the jury is still out on both players after poor 2020 campaigns. While Keller isn't flashy, he should be able to give the Royals a solid start in this spot, as he does a good job of limiting walks and keeping the ball in the park. The Royals were one of the hottest teams during spring training, and will look to extend that momentum into the regular season. Last season Texas was terrible on the road, going 6-24 away from home. Both teams have been swinging the bat well in spring, but Kansas City has the edge on the mound. Brad Keller had a shaky spring but only gave up 1 ER in his last 3 home starts of 2020. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Kansas City Royals -1.5. Brad Keller was a pitcher I made my fair share of money on, and Kyle Gibson is good to back in spots, but I think Keller is due for a regression this year and Gibson can be the proverbial box of chocolates, where he could throw 7 no-hit innings one day and give up 5 runs in 2 innings another. The Kansas City Royals come into the season with a new coaching staff after a disappointing 2020 campaign. They finished 26-34, just 2 games ahead of the last-place Tigers. As a team, the Royals had a .244 batting average, .409 slugging percentage, and 248 runs scored, all of which ranked in the bottom half of the majors. Their pitching staff was solid overall, as their 4.3 team ERA ranked 12th in the league. Kansas City was the best team in the Cactus League, finishing first with a 16-8 record during spring training. Whit Merrifield led the team with a .372 batting average. Salvador Perez also had a solid spring, hitting .350 with 3 HR and 8 RBI. Kansas City will be calling on their young righty Brad Keller against the Rangers. Last season he finished with a 5-3 record, 2.47 ERA, and 1.02 WHIP. During spring training he was 1-1 with a 5.4 ERA, 2.1 WHIP and 12 strikeouts. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 9.5. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.